All right, David14, welcome to Spiritual Beers Podcast, my friend.
Thanks for having me. Or whatever you guys say.
Yeah, man, it's good having you. Thank you for sharing your time with us today. Really appreciate it. I know there's a lot of people who would like to see your face and listen to your story. So thank you for joining us. All
Well,
right.
glad to be here.
Yeah, man. All right. Yeah, and like you saw earlier, in your honor, I am wearing the official Oktoberfest
Yeah,
shirt for the
nice, nice. Yeah,
a little bit of my background. I am also full German, but American German.
yeah.
So, before
Yeah.
we get started, why don't we go ahead and start with the most pressing question, David? What is the deal with the 14?
Uh, well, I'm born on the 14th, so that explains it pretty much. And it comes up in one of my favorite movies, Escape from New York, back then with Kurt Russell.
Wow.
And and I think within the first 10 minutes, it shows up as David 14, and it was just like a tribute to that movie, and it's one of my favorite movies. So
That's crazy. You know what? I've never seen that movie.
you have to watch it. It's
I
like
it's
I know it by heart, even in English, and
Yeah.
that's the only movie I know that's better in German because the voices are better.
Okay.
But it's a pretty good movie. You have to watch it.
Yeah, it's been on my mind because I saw some interview or something with Kurt Russell, and I was
Mhm.
like, I like all of his movies. Like
Yeah, yeah,
Big Trouble in Little China is like
yeah.
that
I've
movie
seen
for
them
me.
all. Yeah, yeah.
So like I was thinking that he was referring to Escape from New York and Escape from LA. He did two of them, right?
He did too, but the second one is not as good.
Okay.
It's the original. You have to watch the original. Yeah,
Okay. So he said that. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've never seen it. I have to watch it. So that's funny. It has been on my
that's
mind as of late. So
that's on your list for tonight now.
I'm going to watch that movie, if not tonight, this Thanksgiving break, because I've got plenty to
Okay,
with
okay.
the kids. I'm
Oh,
gonna make
oh,
the
you
kids watch
guys have
it.
Thanksgiving coming up.
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah, next
yeah,
week.
okay. Didn't
Yeah.
know that. Okay.
So it's gonna be me with the kids, movie times, watching movies, playing.
Don't watch it with the kids. Well, okay, your
Oh,
son
really?
might be okay with it, but it's like rated 16 here.
Okay.
Uh, yeah.
So just blooding, and
Well,
bang.
there some people killed
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah, I don't know if your daughter.
yeah. She's okay.
Yeah, she's fine
I,
with
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, dude.
She's seen worse.
My,
She's into
my
horror movies.
yeah. My
She
wife.
watched that all the time.
My wife is Polish, dude. She curses
Yeah,
on.
your wife. I don't. I was more thinking about your daughter.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying she curses on a daily basis. My girls heard every curse word in the book from several languages.
Okay.
She's
She
she
can
watch,
curse in Polish.
yeah, oh yeah. She watches Mortal Kombat.
Kurwa.
Yeah, oh there it is. Sacre bleu. It's every
Yeah,
language. We got it all.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, so all right. Well, I'm on that. I definitely will put that down and I'll get back to you on
Yeah,
that.
you have to watch it. That's a really good. That's one of my favorite movies. Yeah.
All right, well, let's see here. Moving on. Let's go a little further here. So, where were you born, David?
In Bavaria, actually in Franconia, a city called Bayreuth. Some people know it from Richard Wagner. You know that composer, and he's had an opera house there and was living there for a long time. So
Wow.
some people might know that place.
Is it a small little city
It's like
town?
80,000 people, 75,000
Okay.
people.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's a
So
smaller,
medium size,
medium-sized
medium
city.
size. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. So you aren't in the suburbs. You were actually downtown, or
Not really downtown. It more was more not directly in the outskirts, but not like really downtown. It was
okay,
like the middle of it, like city area.
okay, very
Yeah,
cool.
it was just a regular neighborhood with. Back then, we were able to play on the streets, hardly any cars. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So brothers and sisters.
I've got a brother, a younger brother, your
Okay,
age, about your age. Actually, Moo's age.
okay. All right. How old is Moo? I don't even know.
He's born 73. I don't want.
Okay.
Am I doxing him now?
No, no, no. Yeah, right. Oops. I'll edit that out. Sorry, Moo.
Well, he greetings, Moo, and he became 50 this year.
Okay.
Just like my brother, he became 50 this year too.
Yep, me as well. My older brother just turned 50.
Yeah, okay.
We had a party for
Yeah,
him, so I'm up next.
yeah.
I'm 2 years
Yeah. You
out.
you got still 2 years ago. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm come there soon, but well, that's great. Okay, good. A younger brother, and your parents were both great parents. Good childhood, growing up.
Yeah, I've had a really good childhood. It was like loving parents, everything. Well, we went every year on vacation. It was like it's what we call a normal family here because
Yeah.
it was normal back then. It was just like everybody grew up that way where I grew up.
Yeah, I remember, just talking to a friend the other day, and we were looking back, and I know everyone probably has the same, like, oh, when I was young, the world was better. But I
It
actually,
was, it
but but
was.
but that not and not only that, but also you can even just go back to the near past, maybe 10, 15 years, and say the world is so radically different. It's in a terrible way. You
Yeah,
can't. It's hard to even describe where we are right now. The world made sense even just 15 years ago, much less 30 or 40 years ago. The
even
world,
5 years ago
yeah, the
or
world,
10 years
yeah,
ago. Yeah,
yeah, the world made sense. You kind of got your hands around, your mind around it. You knew where you were.
mm.
You knew how things, or at least you thought you knew the lay of the land. Now, everything's unsure. There's just no solid ground beneath your feet. It's just a pretty strange situation.
Yeah, you have to listen to your gut feeling right now. It's what we call in German Luftprobe, like the air test. Like you're hanging in the air, you don't know what to do. You know the fire test where you go through fire. The air test is like where you're hanging in the air. You have to make your own mind, make up your own mind, and you have to decide for yourself where you're going.
That's right. Yeah. Scout out the land for the safe landing.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. All right, that's good. Well, listen, let me ask you this. This is a question I ask everybody right off the bat here. What was your first spiritual or supernatural experience that you can remember?
Uh, I was having well, I wouldn't say imaginary friend, but it was like not like Harvey, like someone walking by next to me, but I had someone talking in my head. It was like I had a friend, and I wasn't crazy.
How old were
I
you?
don't know if it was like your angel, your guardian angel.
Mhm.
I don't know. His name was Fred.
Wow. So you got a name. So how old were you when this was going on?
It was before puberty.
Oh,
It pretty much stopped around that time. Yeah. Like 12, I think it ended at 12, 13, around then.
wow. That's very interesting. I haven't talked to too many people about imaginary friends. That's actually something I was going to bring up a little later on. So I'm glad you did that. Because I've had that same experience, but mine was much younger. I was a young kid. Anywhere
I,
from
yeah,
2 to
I
like
don't know when it
6.
started, but I know it ended around that time. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah, he was just always there somehow.
Wow, that's crazy. Super cool. Yeah, you guys used to have conversations. I mean, do you play a lot by yourself then, and that's when it happened?
No. I was just we were like always a lot of kids in the neighborhood. We played together and everything. It was just like a little voice in my head.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
mine would take place when I was by myself in my backyard a lot. And again, I was a little kid. I would just go out there and just have a conversation and talk,
Mm.
play,
Yeah,
and
that too. But it was like I grew up next to where my kindergarten was, where I went to kindergarten, and
Mhm.
there were like plenty of kids around there,
Okay.
and living in the neighborhood too. So it was like we were always like 10 kids playing.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Me as well.
Yeah,
Yeah. There's always a
yeah,
pack of kids running
yeah,
around.
playing soccer on the street, things like that. Yeah,
Yeah. So have you ever seen the movie The Shining?
I have, but a long time ago. I don't remember
Okay.
that much.
Well, it's
Yeah,
very much like that. That little the little voice in the voice thinks it comes from his mouth. But really,
okay, yeah,
it's
yeah.
telepathy, uh,
Mm.
sort of other entity kind of speaking through him or to him. So that's very interesting.
Hmm.
Wow, okay. And so did you tell anyone else about this? Any friends or family?
No, no.
Okay. So
No,
your parents had no clue?
No, no. Maybe he told me not to. I don't remember because I just never did.
Okay.
So it was something private.
Sure. Yeah, I get that. I don't think I really had many conversations with my parents. I would tell them stuff, but I didn't get any feedback. So I didn't
Mm.
really, there was never a conversation about it. Um, mine was my first experience was probably when I was 3 or 4, and I didn't know it then. Just looking back, I told my dad about a experience when he was driving me to a friend's house when I was an infant. So I was a baby. I was wrapped up
Mm.
baby in a like not even a car seat, in a little carrier thing in the bottom of the chair well in our van, and I was looking up him driving, and I was telling him, where we were going and how he stopped the car and went got picked me up and showed me to his friends, and I was as I was telling the story, he was looking at me and he didn't talk. He didn't say anything
Mm.
back. And that was it. It just ended there until years later when I look back in the conversation, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was telling my dad about a story that I couldn't have remembered that, as a baby.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
So that was the first time I was thinking like, wow, something strange here. And
Yeah.
yeah, things got
Well, my memories only go back until like I was 3 or 4. Before that, I don't really remember.
right.
Like
No, no, right.
I would say my kindergarten time. I went to the kindergarten at 4, and like that's sort of what I remember is the earliest.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, me as well. Yeah, that's crazy. So So your brother, he didn't have any experience. You didn't talk to him about this either.
No, no,
Okay. All
no.
right.
We were constantly fighting back then.
Right. Sure. I
you
understand.
you know what it's like to grow up with a brother.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. And you
But
didn't want to give
we're
him.
like this now, so it was just in the childhood. We were always fighting somehow.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I didn't talk to my brother about anything either, except for the things I was seeing on the ceilings at nighttime, and I was scared because we had a bunk bed, so he got
Hmm.
he got to hear me complain about it all the time. But
Okay.
that was about it, though.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well, so going up once you got into adolescence as a
Mhm.
young man, did you see any sort of activity kind of tick up during those years? Late teens,
What?
early 20s?
No, no. That was like my how do you call it? Where you lose all kind of spirituality
All
during those
right.
times. It came back like in my 20s
Okay.
when I started into getting into like Rudolf Steiner, reading books about that, and there's some guy called Jakob Lorber. He wrote books back in 18 something, 19th century. When I started reading things like that, and well, that's in my 20s it started again.
That's interesting. Yeah, I could definitely relate to that. But what made you reach out and start reading those books? What was that
I
spark?
don't know, it just fell into my hands, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I was getting into conspiracies and stuff like that. You pick up one book and then you read about another book, you pick up that book,
Sure.
like the Four Horsemen. What's the name of the guy? He's dead by now.
Oh,
uh,
William Cooper?
uh
Yeah.
yeah, Cooper, right, right.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah, that was about the earliest book I read on conspiracies.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've read that one, and I had to get that one in English, so
Okay.
because it you couldn't get it in German, and it was hard to get English stuff back then because like it didn't start until we got DVDs, so you can watch things really in English back then with VHS. We had a like a rent place for VHS cassettes. They had only a few English tapes, so I always watched those and learned pretty much English by watching movies.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, my wife is the same.
Yeah,
She had a priest that also spoke English, so she would go over there and they would
yeah, yeah.
help. But yeah, I had that experience too. I shared that a little bit about finding books in like a book sale. Like walking down
Mhm.
city, and there's a bunch of tables with books laid out, and something catches your eye for no reason, and then you get it, and
It gets pointed to.
yeah,
You know how it works.
yeah, and one of the most amazing examples of that to me for me was when I got my job at Noah. So this is many years later. This is my when I was 30. So I'd already read some spiritual books by then, but I had a little break, and it's my first week on the job, and we go out to downtown Silver Spring where we're working, and there's a bookshop there, and bookshops were kind of new then. This was like kind of a new thing. So I think it was Barnes and Nobles maybe. So we walked in there, and people were just milling around, wasting time. And I'm not even looking at signs. I don't even know there were signs as far as like sections of books. I'm just walking around the store. I wind up in an intersection. I look up. I don't even. I'm not even looking. Yeah,
Accidentally,
I'm
right?
not even looking for titles. I just stick my hand out. I put my finger in a book. I pull it out, and this is the book. It was My Descent into Darkness, I believe is what it's called. Anne Rice wrote the foreword on it or something like that.
Mm,
In
I
any
don't know.
event, in any event, I started reading a couple pages of it, and it was so amazing. I bought it, went
Mm,
back to my desk, read the whole book that day and that night, and it was
mm.
like, so profound. Like so, of all of one finger, one book, I bought it, and it was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
for me. It's
It's all coincidence, right?
yeah, right. It's Fred, dude. It's Fred.
Yeah, yeah,
Your buddy Fred, man.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness, dude. All right, well that's good. So you started getting into that. Now, what about your wife? When did you guys meet? In school or
We no, no, no. Well, the story is I held her the door open at a bookstore, and
okay.
later on I saw her the same day in a cafe, and then I just walked over, started talking to her, and then yeah.
Uh, things are history. So, what about her? Does she have any stories that she shared with you over the years, or did you open up to her?
No,
Or
no, no.
okay, so she's more a normie, into other things.
Yeah, at least she doesn't talk about it. I don't know.
Okay, right, which is definitely possible, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Because
yeah,
I've never talked to my kids about it either, so it's just not a thing we talk about. It's
yeah. That was the follow-up question. What about your children? So they've never confided in you in something that
no,
was
maybe they do, but they don't. They never told me.
okay, right? So they never talked to you about this. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, yeah. You should open up the door to that one, man. That's a
Mhm.
whole other experience. I'm doing that with my kids. I just to make sure that they know that certain things can happen that they can
Mm,
talk about. I don't really. We don't have conversations about it every day, but I, I
mm,
I encourage them to share their dreams or things that happen, even if it's something scary. We could talk about that. But
mm,
so, because I know how it is, I know how it can feel to be attacked when you're young and be by yourself, and
mm.
it's not easy to get through that. So they they s-
Yeah,
they seem to have a much easier time than I did. So I'm happy.
yeah, yeah.
At
That's
this
good.
point, yeah, at this point, I mean,
Yeah.
all right. Well, listen. How about this? Let's move forward from your kids and to the first time that you saw Samantha.
Mm.
Was this on a YouTube video? How did you come across this?
Uh, Practically, I was following her comment. Yeah, I watched. Well, it was back then when I started getting into cryptos. You try to figure out what coins to buy, so you watch plenty of videos,
Sure.
and I came across a psychic. I don't remember. It was not White Dove. It was some other one. The chick with the captain. I
Sharon
don't.
Michelle.
Yeah, yeah, that one. And there was in the comment section, I'm a medium. Sam wrote in, I'm a medium and something, and I just clicked on her name and ended up in her channel. And it was like I think she started in fall making videos, and found like end of the year things like that. I started getting into my first cryptos I bought in November, and it was like maybe around that time. I don't know. No, it must have been later. Must have been end of the year. Yeah, that I found her. And then she mentioned in one of her videos that she was setting up a Patreon, and well, I just looked through it, and then I joined.
Okay, all
I
right.
was number 25. No,
Oh,
26. 25 people were in there. I was number 26.
wow. So that was January.
No, that was, I joined February 2nd or 3rd.
Okay, so I was a
Yeah.
month behind you.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
You came right after me.
okay. Wow. So okay, so okay, so you joined her Patreon. She didn't send you a link, and you didn't directly
No,
contact her.
no,
Did you
no, no,
have
no.
a reading shortly thereafter, early on with her?
Yeah, like around March. March.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, yeah. I set up a reading pretty fast. Yeah.
Okay, wow. Yeah, I think I had the reading with her first, and then I joined because I didn't even
Mm.
I wasn't even sure what Patreon or Discord really was at that point.
I didn't know either, but I just jumped right into it.
Okay.
That's the way I do it. I just go in there and make the experience.
Right on. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. That was very interesting. That first group of people, how things were very much in flux. But yeah, you were one of the people who definitely welcomed people in and made people at home. So I owe
Mm,
you
mm.
gratitude and thanks for that. I'm sure many other as well. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, so I think I had a very reading with Samantha, and I don't know if it was the first one or not, but I remember when I saw her video and she said something about very, I immediately sent her a message in the comments. I'm like, hey, I mean, I would
Mhm.
love to do a reading. I got some very, and it went from there. So yeah, that was a special time. So well, here's the follow-up question. It's been a long time now. Has it been almost 5 years,
Four,
right? Almost
yeah,
five, right?
almost 5. In February,
Almost
it's 5 years.
five.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's been almost 5 years. It's been a long time. You were given, and many of us were given an early look or glimpse into what our future might be and what we might expect and what we could look forward to. Do you think that has changed at all, or are you still focused on that manifesting that early vision?
Well, I always take it like how it comes. So I'm not expecting something. I just go with the flow.
Right.
Yeah. You
Yes.
you you see like opportunities, then you go that way, or like doors opening up, then you go through the door, things like that. That's the way I live my life.
Yes, me as well. That's a great take. I agree. The reason why I bring it up is because, and as our conversation foreshadowed, the world has changed so much. And
Yeah.
Samantha had kind of been warning us and commenting many times over the years, it's not going to happen the way you think it's going to happen, even though she might give you a snapshot of what your end or near-term goal might be. Getting there is going to be a surprise and a story that you haven't figured out yet. And I didn't understand that at the time. And I was not prepared. Probably no one could be prepared for really what we were truly seeing now. And
Mm.
and it's still evolving, which is even crazier. So I keep that vision of what I was shared um, in my back pocket, but I do the same. I ride the waves as they come to me, with
Yeah.
with the thought that I'll end up there probably some way, some
Yeah,
form.
I think we will end up there, but you don't know how it progresses.
Right.
So I'll just take it one day at a time. So
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
yeah,
Well, so do you want to share with what you think that ultimate spot might be for you and what it might look
Sam said Cuba, so whatever.
like?
We'll see.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
You know, the funny thing is, I live like maybe 15, 20 minutes from an airport here, in an international airport, but it's not that big. But it's there still can start big planes. But it's not very. It's not like I have planes all over me all the day.
right.
And there is a direct flight from here to Havana.
Wow.
Lufthansa. So I could be in 20 minutes at the airport, take the next flight, be in Havana.
Wow. I mean, could you not? I mean, just imagining that scenario. The world is kind of engulfed in conflict, and the financial system's going crazy. Governments are failing possibly, and here's this little route open for your escape to Havana with your seed words and some
Yeah,
gold and silver, and to
yeah,
start a new life.
yeah. You just two suitcases and off we go.
Yeah, wow,
Make a long vacation.
yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that could just be your start, your jumping off point. You could just ride the waves off
Mm,
out there while the turmoil is happening overseas. And
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
but wow, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I was curious about that. So you think a bar and a nightclub is in your future?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Could be. I don't know yet. But we'll see. I just see what life brings.
Yeah, I hear that. Have you talked to your kids about that at all?
I've mentioned it, but they don't really believe it. I just mentioned that Sam said that, and but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have that. I tell my wife, my kids every year whenever something's brought up. I'm like, "Hey, don't plan too far in advance. We might not even be here next season. We might not be here next fall. We might not be, I've always been saying that because I have a feeling that it's a matter of time, and time's getting short, that I'll be making a move, and that might not be my forever move. Who knows where I'll ultimately wind up? But I have a feeling that my days are numbered around this place, and I won't put a timeline on it because that's just silly. But um, I can feel it. I can feel
Yeah,
a
yeah.
move is coming for
I
me.
think we'll be having different spots all over the world anyway. In I don't know how that will develop, but like renting a place or buying a house here, buying a house there, things like that.
Yeah,
That's what I see in the future, that you not only have one spot to go to. And I want to keep this apartment here, so I love it here. I'm like 5 minute walk away from the lake. I have a fantastic view. I see the mountains and everything.
yes, you do. I've seen the pictures.
Yeah. So
Gorgeous.
I love this. I love this place here. So I'm fine with not leaving by now.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I have similar thoughts. At first, I thought I was going to sell our current home when we move, but I think that's going to be changing. I think we'll keep this home, and I'd like to have a home in the mountains somewhere, if maybe on the eastern seaboard, the Appalachian Mountains, or
mm,
possibly Colorado. So
yeah,
I'd like to have two or three locations to kind of have to call home if
yeah. And
possible.
houses will be cheap, like for precious metals. You will get good deals.
I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping that's the case. I
I
don't
know
have,
that's the case.
yeah.
One ounce of gold for a house, 1 ounce of silver for a good car.
Wow,
That's
yeah,
my prediction.
I like that. You know what? I almost sold the roll of the Queen's Beast Silver the other
Oh
week.
no.
I almost did. Went to the dealer just so I could kind of see how they're reacting and what kind of price they could give me, and it was
Hmm.
so low. It was $22 an ounce,
Hmm.
and these so it was the 2 ounce coins. So it was like they're going for $70 to $80 a piece, and he was offering me 42 or
Yeah,
40
he
30 or
was just
44.
offering spot prices.
Just spot, just barely
Yeah,
a spot. And I'm like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
thank you, buddy.
No, no, no. Keep it, keep
Yeah.
it.
So yeah, so I held on to those. I've got more, but that
Yeah.
was one I was looking to part with. But
Hmm.
well, all right. Well, I got a question for you. How about any sort of techniques of manifestation? Do you do any sort of
No,
affirmations or
no, 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 no.
visualizing?
Because then you create expectations, and you you have to let go. You can wish for something, but you can't determine the time frame, and cannot determine what exactly it is. It has to be done by source. So you just send out your wish, and then you let go. You just let it happen,
Yes.
and then it happens. But it might be something a little bit different than what you expected. So no expectations. Just go with it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Whenever I kind of think about not what I want, but kind of where I want to be, I keep it very simple. I picture me being happy, dressed in white, opening the door of the car to my friends or family who are visiting. I keep it on that level. I keep or
Mm,
clinking a glass of wine
mm.
and looking at the stars and listening to the beach. I keep it to that level. I don't say I want this car, this house, and this street. And
Yeah, yeah.
I don't really build that mind
Mm.
space. I let that be because, as you know, as you just said, it can be filled in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
agree with that as well. Well, listen. Do you have any initiatives or plans that you're involved with or trying to enact now, or when you're
No,
okay? So
no.
you're just living life in one foot
Yeah.
at a time.
Living life, having fun.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Well, I guess we'll leave it there then, and until next time, maybe we'll be at the Club 14 in Cuba. But
Yeah, yeah, of course.
I appreciate your time and you coming on and joining us today, David. It was wonderful, and we'll be blessed, and we'll be seeing each other soon. I hope. Okay.
We will.
All right. Take care, my friend.